We have here, it simply says Shango Staff, but I'm sure you can...
Which is correct.
Which is correct, yeah. Great. But I'm sure you can tell me a few more things about this, to say the least.
Okay.
Okay, Esima.
The Shango Staff is just a wand, if you like. You know, it's just a wand that is used by a Shango Priest in the worship of Shango. Shango is a deity associated with the Yorubas of Western Nigeria. History has it that Shango was a warrior, you know, who was a warrior in the in the 19th century, and in the late 19th century and early 20th century, who, you know, he was a king in Yoruba land, in old Oyo Empire. And when he went to battle, when he went to war, when he was killed, you know, unfortunately. And when he died, his followers wanted to, you know, if you like, epitomize, you know, his existence. They wanted, you know, something to, they wanted something, you know, to, if you like, to, as a remembrance. Really, I'm just trying to find the right word, you know, for it. You know, him, and they now made him, you know, into, they personified him into a deity, sort of, yeah. So that was how the Shango came about. And it became the way of worship because they looked at him. He was like a symbol, a deity, you know, because of his prowess, you know, his strength, his power, and everything. They thought he was just not an ordinary person. This must be. There's something supernatural about him. And, you know, they started worshiping him as a deity. So the followers of Shango, you know, attached so much importance to that worship. The Shango has a shrine. Initially, this was, you know, associated with the palace, you know, in the old Oyo Empire. And the priest, you know, was somebody that was appointed by the king, you know, to if you like, you know, supervise or guide, to be at the forefront of the worship. And this tradition was passed down, you know, through the years, you know, down to generations. And the worship continues even today in present-day Nigeria. So Shango, as most people know it today, is a deity. It's a god that is worshipped. It's, you know, it's got a shrine, and a priest is assigned, you know, to do the libation, to, you know, conduct, if you like, the worship of this deity. It's a lot of the Yorubas actually, you know, this Shango is associated with, it's a god of thunder and lightning, you know, and I guess that is, you know, has to do with, you know, the symbol, the image that the man portrayed, you know, while
fast and fierce. He
was very fierce, you know, a fierce warrior. So I think, you know, maybe his movement was so swift at war and whatever, and it was like moving at the speed of lightning, you know. So it's associated with lightning, with, you know, thunder and lightning. And when it is believed that you could send thunder and lightning upon your enemies, you know, to destroy them, to kill them. You know, so a lot of times, yes, the worshippers, they had to appease. Because if Shango is angry and he wants to strike, he strikes in the form of lightning and thunder, and actually strikes a person dead. So there is this, you know, real fear, you know, surrounding that deity, you know, as you know, as the people worship anyway. There's fear amongst them, and the Yorubas even today, you know, still attach a lot of fear and importance to Shango. And, you know, I would like to say that in those days, you know, the religious, the culture of the people, their traditional religion was very important because it guided their way of life. you know, and it helped people to, you know, it helped to straighten people, to keep people in shape, you know, so because there was so much fear that if you know, there was retribution, if you like. If you went against the laws or the tenets of the way of worship, you know, there were consequences. And people respected and feared for their lives. So, you know, there was more, you know, order in the society, really.